Hi, this is Makona Spokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. I'm continuing with the topic that speaks about what mentally strong people do. What mentally strong people do. And we're dealing with part 3 today. And I must emphasize that you need to be a strong-minded person as a young man. It is very important to do so, especially in the life that we're dealing with. Now, I want to today start with saying mentally strong people, they never waste time in pondering on things they cannot change, pondering on things that they cannot control. Now, I want us to understand that in life, things happen. There are things in life that you can change. There are things in life that you can control. And I want to emphasize to you as a young man that those things in life that you can control, please control them. And make sure that you control them and move on. And make sure that when you've controlled them, you don't ponder on them and worry about them. You move on because you've controlled them. And there are those ones also, those things that in life, you can be able to change them. These are the things that you might have done and you can rewind them or you can change them. And if there are things that you can change them, instead of worrying as well, please just change them and move on. But I want to emphasize that mentally strong people come to the fourth when there are things that they cannot change, when there are things that we cannot reverse, when there are things that we cannot control, and when they realize that it's something that they cannot control, therefore they make up their minds that I'm not going to worry about this. Because what helps a man to worry about something that you cannot control? If you cannot control it, why worry about it? We have seen many people that worry about the weather and they stress about it because it is too cold. They are worried and they are so stressed because it is too cold. There are people that worry about heat. It is too hot and they are worried and they are stressed because it's too hot. And these are things that you're worrying about, but you know that you cannot control. We know that weather is controlled by God. Even though you can worry about it, you will not be able to change it. Now, mentally strong people, they realize that they cannot waste their time by worrying about things that they cannot change. They cannot waste their time by worrying about things that they cannot control at all. There are things that you cannot control. And as a young man, I want to emphasize to you that some situations are actually not in your control. They're in the control of others. For an example, you might be a young man that I'm speaking to right now, that you've lost a relationship. You've been rejected. You've been dumped as a young man, if I may use that language. Now, I want you to remember that the person that walked away from you, they leave you without having control of it. Because it is their decision to move away from you. It is their decision to walk away from your company. Now, if you've lost a relationship through that, whereby people walk away from you, whereby your loved one walk away from you, it is time to dust yourself off, to remember that you cannot control people. If their emotions or their decisions have told them to leave you, to reject you, to dump you. So please, don't waste time by whining about it. Don't waste your time by stressing about it because you might be wasting much time about something that you should move on anyhow. People that are mentally strong, you'll see them, they will know that this I cannot control. They will know that this I cannot change it. So therefore, I need to move on as quick as possible because the more I worry about it and delay, I am wasting time of my own. I could be moving on and doing something better. I could be moving on and actually succeeding in my life. I could be moving on and breaking through in situations of my life. I want to emphasize this, that you must have mental fortitude as a young man. You must never waste your time about things that you cannot control. Now, if you are a young man who's been divorced, I want to emphasize this as well, that maybe it's time to close the chapter. Maybe it's the time to start thinking of moving forward because you're delaying yourself by hanging on to something that is past. And the person that left you is their decision. You cannot control that. You cannot change that either. Move on. And I'm saying, as a young man, move on. Because that's very, very important. There are those things that you cannot change in your life. There are those things that you cannot control in your life. And be a person with a mental fortitude, mental strength that will say, I'm going to move on, come what may. I don't care because I cannot change the situation. I cannot control the situation. Therefore, I'm not going to waste my time in whining about this situation and waste my time, therefore. Mentally strong people, what they do as well is they are kind. And they are always very fair as well in their lives. Now, mentally strong people are very kind because they don't weigh people and hold the grudges of people that have hurt them. They don't hold the grudges. They don't hold resentment against people that might have faulted them. Now, this is the reason why they are always kind, because their kindness is not looking at the faces of people. Now, people that are mentally strong, they'll be kind even to people that have hurt them. They'll be kind to people that they know those people hate them, or those people have gossiped about them even yesterday. The people that are plotting evil to you, as a young man who is having a very strong mental fortitude, you're going to be able to forgive and forget, because forgiveness is going to help you to move on even more quickly. For you to be kind even to those enemies, people that have made themselves your enemies, you're going to be kind to them as well. Now, there are words that says, this thing, you cannot wish it to even your worst enemy. This is the truth, that if you are kind, there are things in life that you cannot wish them even to your worst enemy. You cannot wish even your worst enemy to die. You cannot wish your worst enemy to suffer. And that's very key. But these are people with a very strong mental attitude, mental fortitude. People with strong mind are able to say, I want my enemy to be successful. I don't wish my enemy bad. I wish my enemy success. And I'm not going to make or hate my enemy. I'm not going to curse my enemy. I'm going to wish my enemy well. And I'm going to be kind to my enemy. If somebody who has hurt me or my enemy knocks at my door needing shelter, I will accommodate them. It's because I am kind even to those who are not kind to me. And that's strong mentality. And that is the power of a strong mentality. And those that have got strong mental fortitude, they are able to actually forgive quickly. They're able to open their arms and embrace even those people that would not embrace them. And this is very key. And I want to urge you as a young man to learn to do so. It might be that there are people that have hurt you along the way. It might be that there are people that have led you astray or even betrayed you in life. But this is time to forgive and forget and be kind to them even though they've hurt you, even though they've been kind to you. And that is what we call a strong mental fortitude. And that's very important. Now, people with a strong mental attitude or fortitude are like that. They are kind at all times. But also, I want to emphasize that they're always very fair. Now, they believe in fairness in everything that they do. Even though they are actually hurt, even though they are actually being betrayed, but they will be fair with everyone, with their colleagues. They will be fair with their own colleagues. They will be fair with their own staff members. They will be fair with their own friends. They will be fair with their own peers as well. In everything that they do, they will be fair. They will treat everyone fairly, and they will not be uneven-handed at all time, at any given time. And that is why I want to emphasize that you, as a young man, you need to have strong mentality. When you've got a strong mentality, you will always be forgiving, you'll always be kind, and you will actually be fair to everyone at any given time. Now, it is actually beneficial for you to be fair, because as you become fair to people, then people will be fair to you as well, because you reap exactly what you've sown. And it's very important that you sow fairness at all times, because you will receive fairness as well in your own life. I want to end up here today. Your host, Maikona Spokane. Thank you very much for having spent time with us again, listening to us. This was part 3 of this great topic. And I want to invite you to join us as we deal with part 4 tomorrow. And allow me to say, may the good Lord bless you. And cheers for now.